Masculinity is not something given to you, but something you gain, and you gain it by winning small battles with honor. Hello again, gents. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rod, and I'm here because I want to help and encourage you to become an improved version of yourself so that you can achieve your dreams and change the future of your generations. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about what it means to show yourself a man, what it means to act like a man. Obviously, nowadays, we live in confused times. I mean, people struggle to define the most mundane of terms, like,
what is a woman? Can you tell me that?
But ask 10 people what they think of when they hear the term masculinity, and you will either get 10 different answers, or the majority of the answers are going to have the word toxic somewhere in there. And clearly masculinity is a big weighty subject, but that's why I like the quote that we started with today. It simplifies it and it gives us somewhere to start. Masculinity is not something that is passed down or that we somehow acquire like when we're 16 or 18 or 21 or 25 or whenever. It's something that we earn by action. You gain it by proving yourself, and maybe that's why men like competition so much. But there are some who might say, isn't masculinity just a construct of society, something that we made up along the way? Certainly culture influences what it means to be a good man, but masculinity is something different. That is more universal. Let me demonstrate. If I tell you to think about an actor or a character or a celebrity who's very masculine, who first comes to mind? For me, it is certainly this guy.
Bond. James Bond.
And these guys also come close. But it sure as hell is not this guy. Beta! And honestly, it does not have anything to do with looks. I mean, if you had to rank somebody first in masculinity between him and him, who would you choose? Now, hopefully you know your history, otherwise you have no idea who this guy is. And maybe the character of the man that you chose had something to do with your decision. But even Google's AI list of masculine traits is pretty morally neutral. So it seems that the word masculine is easier for us to determine. Masculinity somehow gets a little bit murkier. However, it doesn't take a literary degree to figure out that masculinity and masculine are related. And just like masculine traits, masculinity in general is something that we can somehow feel by intuition or even with first impressions. Although there are some whom, as you get to know them better, you can see this masculinity displayed more and more. For example, there's a man in my church who's very meek, very humble. But as I got to know him better and I started hearing stories about him, you can tell, wow, this really is a man's man. And all masculine men have a certain air, a weightiness, a presence about them. And we sense this when we're around them. But how did they get that? Well, for all of them, they have gained it by winning small battles with honor. And I'm sure some of the battles were not small, but they definitely started small. They have proven themselves over and over again and have reached a status where somehow we can feel it. And this is not just for modern men either. As King David was dying circa 970 BC, he looks at his son Solomon, who's to inherit the kingdom, a kingdom that, by the way, was very turbulent, and says, I am going the way of all the earth. Be strong and show yourself a man. And I love what author Stephen Mansfield says about this. He elaborates on the idea of showing yourself a man. And according to him, it can be expounded to say, become what it means to be an exceptional man. And honestly, that is what I want for me. And if I can do it, you sure as hell can do it too. Clearly, this is not a problem of modernity. Men have always had to do that. But now, more men don't know this and are not interested in seeking it out, being completely okay with their hamster wheel of entertainment. But you are not that way. For whatever reason, you are still here listening to this video. And because of that, I believe that you can win your battles with honor. And you may say, what battles do I have to fight? Well, maybe your battle is to win against the snooze button tomorrow. Maybe it is to go for a run or a walk tomorrow, even though it's going to be cold or rainy. Maybe your battle is not watching Netflix tonight and instead picking up that book that you've been wanting to read. Maybe it's practicing your instrument. Maybe it's not watching what you shouldn't watch online. Maybe it's all of these. You, like men throughout history, can certainly show yourself a man. You can gain that masculinity XP by doing the things that you truly want to do, the things that you know you need to do. Whoa, that got pretty inspirational there. And before you have the chance to say that you're gonna start tomorrow, let me remind you of the greatest words ever screamed at a movie theater.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
So go win your battles with honor, and until next time, make sure that you act like a man.
Let's get scratching.